Crypto.com, which changed its blockchain name to Kronos at some point a few years ago, they were my favorite centralized exchange to use for many reasons back in the day. They were one of the only centralized exchanges that allowed us to trade the variety of coins here from the UK. A lot of the coins just weren't available. They were one of the only cryptocurrency centralized platforms that allowed us to trade some amount of crypto without KYC. Of course, they brought in the KYC eventually, just like any other centralized exchange. They also provided some of the best fees because they basically dealt with crypto to crypto and no fiat. So they were able to circumvent a lot of the laws that were fiat based. But eventually they got their licenses locally in different European countries, and you were able to set up a bank account which was partnered with a bank somewhere in mainland Europe, in Germany, in Holland. And through this, you were able to on-ramp fiat into Crypto.com quite easily. And it's still actually quite easy till now. I effectively have a bank account sitting inside of the Crypto.com app. And for me, it's working perfectly because I'm very, very careful with my two-factor authentication, not keeping my tokens in there, etc. Unfortunately, like many other crypto exchanges, centralized exchanges and products and companies, when we hit the bear market, they started to struggle, right? And they actually survived from collapsing, which is really, really good because people were thinking that they were going to collapse because they had the Crow token that absolutely collapsed to, minus 99%, just like many other tokens, right? And usually what happens when a company that has its own token and the token that they rely on dies, the company dies, right? We've seen what happened with FTX and all these Alameda and all these crazy companies, right? All collapsed. Now, Crypto.com took some steps that were relatively harsh from the user point of view, but in the bigger picture, those steps were actually good because they basically allowed them to cut their coats according to their size and survive the bear market. That's what they had to survive the bear market. If you remember, during the bull market, Crypto.com did a lot to bring cryptocurrency to the mainstream, right? They did a lot to bring crypto to the living rooms, right? The name Crypto.com obviously even gave them the name recognition. And also they would take out ads on TVs. They would take out ads across like big cities in New York, London, and Frankfurt. They would buy ads in the Super Bowl, and they'd have an entire stadium covered in Crypto.com. They bought some stadiums and renamed them the Crypto.com Stadium. Just wild things like that. And they were spending so much money on advertising. They spent a lot of money that you'd see them come up in CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, anything. You'd see Crypto.com would be advertised as number one. Our YouTube videos, back-to-back Crypto.com ads. They spend a lot of money on influencers, on videos. So basically, they really pushed crypto in the bull market. But in the bear market, when their token plummeted and, things got a little bit harder for everybody, they started to pull some of these benefits. In the bull market, for instance, even the lowest tier of their Visa debit card had perks like free Spotify, free Netflix, ridiculous cashback percentages. I mean, I was making money by just holding the Visa card, right? I was getting cash back for everything I purchased. I was getting free Spotify, free Netflix, free Amazon Prime. I was getting special treatment in Heathrow Airport and airport lounges. And when the bear market hit, what they first did was cut back on the cashback interests. Some of the cards completely lost them. Only the higher tier cards retained them. They cut back on how much free Spotify and free Netflix you could have, reducing the lower tiers to just 6 months rather than just permanently. So you get your first 6 months. And just measures like that to reduce their outgoings. While that might be a bit harsh, it was understandable that they were doing that. The one big mistake that I think that they made that is absolutely unforgivable is what I'm talking about now, which is reducing their customer services. In fact, it seems to me like they fired their entire team and there's just one little group somewhere, maybe in India or the Philippines, in one little office that is dealing with millions of inquiries, right? And the rest of the customer service has been delegated out to an AI company. So there's a company that does artificial intelligence customer services, and they've delegated to that. So now, if you have a problem with crypto.com, whether it is with your two-factor authentication or your keys or anything, your staking, anything that would have taken just a day to resolve at most, is now taking months. I'm talking 3 or 4 months, right? And they'll put you through loops and loops of AI responses, and very, very cheekily of them, right? They don't let the AI respond to you as quickly as possible. They try to simulate a busy call center. So the AI doesn't reply you immediately. It delays you for a couple of days, 3 days, 4 days, and then it replies to you with, oh, is your query still viable? If so, say so and we'll look at it, right? And you do that and they wait another 2 days. And they put you through loops, and then they send you to chats, and they send you to, reach out to us on X. It's an absolute catastrophe. So what they've created now is a giant backlog of users who can't log into their accounts if they've lost their passwords. I'm not talking about the keys. If you've lost your keys, you're done, right? I'm talking about the newbie app that allows you to log in with just a password and two-factor authentication. A lot of people have lost their access to their two-factor authenticator because they lost access to their mobile phone number, which is another warning. If you're using a mobile phone as 2FA, get off of that immediately and use an authenticator app like Google Authenticator. I'm going to do another video about how to access crypto.com's customer service in a more efficient way, how to speed up your responses. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Basically, get off of telephone-based two-factor authentication for 2 reasons. If you were to lose access to your phone, it becomes nearly impossible for you to get that back, because to get back in, you have to be authenticated. And most of these companies have a weird loop of things. Most of them have very busy or non-existent customer services. And we're going into the bull market now when prices might suddenly pump. You want to get the heck out of either of those exchanges and get into an exchange where you can get to your money, or make sure you take your two-factor authenticator off of your phone. Again, this is not financial advice or advice of any kind. I'm just telling you what I've seen people experiencing. Now, this is the worst part of it, right? If you go on social media, on X, for instance, crypto.com has a very minimal support desk with some people manning it. They must get hundreds of thousands of queries a day. So obviously, they can't respond to them all. But what happens is, whenever someone goes to moan about access to their account, you get a barrage of spammers who then reply to them saying, oh, contact this person and they'll help you get in. And while this is a clear scam to someone like me or someone like you, we can see that this is a scam. I'd never do that. There are a lot of newbies that use the crypto.com app, right? And all of them are frustrated and desperate. And they see these posts on social media where people have said, oh, this person has helped me get into my account, right? And that are scammers. And what's going to happen to these people is they're going to be scammed even further, right? They're going to, give up their seed phrases. They're going to give up their password to this person who's going to tell them, oh, if you just give me your code, I'm going to get in and get your crypto for you. And a lot of people don't know that once you give them your seed phrase, that's it, your crypto's gone. People are desperate. And crypto.com has put their customers in this predicament, in this position. And this is shameful, right? And it's only a matter of time before a bunch of people get together and do a massive class action lawsuit, because I can only imagine how many people have lost their money to scammers on the internet because crypto.com doesn't have a viable, functional customer services team. And these spammers on the internet are now taking advantage. Even some of my videos that I made about crypto.com in the past, or about Gala or about Coinbase. By the way, Coinbase is also guilty of this. Although their customer service at least still exists, the way that they don't offer any sort of help with like Gala tokens and Luna Classic, and people being so desperate to get to their money, they've created a scenario where people, scammers, follow these people and respond to them on social media and scam them even further. I've seen scam comments under some of the videos that I made, and people saying, oh, I reached out to blah, 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 blah on Instagram and he helped me. How is he going to help you? How is some blah, blah person on Instagram going to get into your account if you can't get into your account? It's impossible, right? But people don't know that, right? People just fall for that scam. And it's such a shame, because crypto.com is one of the best, when it's working, it's one of the best centralized exchanges. And they provide some of the best staking products. And their DeFi app is absolutely stunning, right? Absolutely sensational. But this one thing puts customers at risk, and it's a shame. And if anyone from crypto.com is listening to this, at least now that we're entering the bull market, I think priority number one would be to hire a functional customer service and get on top of this immediately, because people are going to lose a lot of money because of this. Okay. And I'm a little bit passionate about this because I know at least 2 people that I'm helping at the moment. I'm trying to help them get back into their accounts. Oh, what was that? Where did those balloons come from? I know 2 people. Oh, 2 people. Did you know this? This is this is hilarious. Okay. Oh man, what an Easter egg. But anyway, that's completely distracted me. I hear Binance is hiring, Coinbase is hiring, because the bull market is here and they're making more money. Crypto.com, priority number 1, hire customer service people and get on top of this. No financial advice. Do your own research, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.